These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
And I'm Ash.
And this is a little teeny mini morbid.
What?
It actually might be a mini morbid.
Oh shit, are you changing the game?
I might change up the game. I don't know.
Shit.
You know why? BTK
Took a lot out of you.
It drained a lot of my resources. And
it drained a lot of my reactions because all I had left to say toward the end was like, what a fucking loser.
It drained. That was a draining case.
I agree.
It really is. So this is going to probably be an actual mini morbid.
I'm stoked.
We're not doing, it's like not your typical one. This is going to be like a little different. We're going like historical.
Ooh.
Which is kind of fun.
It's Alina's mini and I don't know what it is yet.
It's true. Today we're going to be talking about the unsolved mystery of what happened to the princes in the tower.
I don't even know who they were to begin with. So
it's going to be fun. It's funny because I said to John today that I was like, you know what, after BTK I needed to do something a little light and fluffy. And he was like, so the unsolved mystery of what happened to 2 young boys who died in a tower alone is light and fluffy to you? And I was like,
has he listened to this podcast?
I was like, my barometer has changed, John. But before we get into the mini, we just want to cover a couple of little things. First, we still have tickets available for our live show November 19th, 2019.
Our second one.
Our second live show.
So we'll be all seasoned and whatnot.
Exactly, because our October 30th one is sold out. So go ahead and get your tickets for the November 19th show. It is at AS 220 Main Stage in Providence, Rhode Island. It's going to be awesome. we're going to come hang out with everybody after the show like we're going to do with the October 30th one.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be worth it. So go get your tickets. You can get them at Eventbrite and just look for Morbid, a true crime podcast live, or look at our Instagram and click on the link in the bio. Go get them. They're $20. Super cheap.
And after you buy your tickets to the live show, you should probably head over to Murder Apparel to get a shirt to wear to the live show.
Do it.
There are so many fucking cool shirts. We have 2 featured on their site, and you can use our code MORBID.
MORBID.
For 25% off.
25%, guys.
What did I name the zombie on the last shirt?
We named him.
Did I name him Murray?
Murray, Morbid Murray.
Morbid Murray, that's what his name is.
Yep, Murray the
Get
Morbid.
the shirt where Morbid Murray.
Morbid Murray.
Get that shirt. Okay.
Go get that shirt.
I have had a long day.
It's been a long week, guys.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, go do that. Murder Apparel is rad. Besides our shirts, they have an amazing array of true crime / horror / spooky great shirts.
I think I literally have them all at this point.
So do it.
So be like me and do it.
Now let's dive into The Princes in the Tower.
Hit me up. I've never heard of this story before.
All right. So it's a mystery.
I love a good mystery.
It's a mystery. It's a whodunit.
Who did it?
It's great.
Are there
it's
theories?
just a lot of fun.
Do you
There's
have a theory?
theories.
Okay.
I have 2 main theories. I'm leaning towards one. I'll tell you when it comes.
I love to make a final decision.
I love it.
That's like my favorite part of the episode.
So the princes in the tower are what they are best known by, but strangely enough, that was not their collective given names.
Why?
They were not named the princes in the tower. upon
Both of
birth.
them didn't share that name?
No, they did not.
Weird.
The older one's name was Edward, Prince of Wales, and his younger brother was Richard, the Duke of York.
Edward and Richard.
They were the 2 princes in the tower. Edward was 12 years old, and Richard was about 9 or 10.
Eddie and Dick.
So they were little guys.
Aw.
And that is the ages when their lives changed forever. So the prince's father was King Edward IV, and their mother was Queen Elizabeth Woodville. King Edward IV died suddenly of an unexpected illness on April 9th, 1483, at the age of 40.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, so it was really unexpected.
Well, actually, that's pretty old back in the day.
I know. Right, actually.
He was like
an
elderly. Yeah. He was geriatric.
Yeah, it was totally fine. Now, before his death, he was actually king twice for 2 different reigns.
I was like, how does that work?
How does that happen? His first reign as king was from 1461 until the October of 1470, and then again from April 1471 until his death in 1483.
Okay.
In between, there was like a shit ton of infighting, people like just trying to snatch that throne from each other. It was Game of Thrones.
Love it.
Literally.
I'm here for it.
He had a super significant claim to the throne, though, because both of his parents were descended from Edward III. You got to keep that bloodline close.
You got to keep the Edwards and the Elizabeths.
So your mama and your dada has to come back from the same royal blood. You got to
Yummy.
share that shit. His reign was actually pretty dramatic. He didn't just get the throne, even though he had such a good claim to it. His father was Richard, Duke of York, and he attempted to take the throne from Henry IV during his illness, but he was killed in battle.
Okay.
So Edward, 18 at the time, was like, I'm going to avenge my father's murder. And he was crowned king after overthrowing the king's forces and sending Henry IV to exile. So he was just like, here I am, bitches, I'm king.
Okay.
Yeah. He's also known for restoring like a little bit of chill to the country, to England, when they really needed it the most, because he took the throne after the infamous War of the Roses, which a lot of people might have at least heard of. That was a pretty terrible and bloody series of battles between the House of York and the House of Lancaster. Again, this is like straight up Game of Thrones.
Wait, Lancaster, like, hello.
Like almost Lannister.
Oh. Fuck me.
I was like, I know you think that it's the exact one, but
Lancaster.
close.
Wow.
It was close. It sounds good.
I'm embarrassed.
And so it was between these two houses, House of York, House of Lancaster. It was a constant struggle for control of the throne of England. And it was 30 years of bloodshed.
That's a lot of
years.
bloodshed.
It's a lot of years of just spreading blood.
One might say that's all the bloodshed.
Yeah, it's a lot of shedding of blood. But finally, House of York became the controlling entity. So they were like, we got this now. Now, obviously, leadership was shaken, and the throne succession was like a tricky matter now, because there was a lot of shit behind this.
Yeah.
And it remained a tricky matter through Edward's death and the attempted succession of his son, Edward V.
Mm-hmm.
Edward V is one of the princes in the tower.
Okay.
So, they attempting to clear the way to succession, Edward IV had declared on his deathbed before succumbing to that mystery illness that he died of.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want my eldest son, Edward V, to be king, and his second son, Richard, was to be second in line. He just wanted to make sure this was clear. I'm just making sure nobody else can come yoink this out of there.
Yoink.
And now that seems simple, right? He's the king. He's dying.
He gets
He's
to say what he
declaring
wants.
his rightful heir.
Right.
He's just making sure. Well,
But he died, and then they were like, nah.
Well, the issue here was that the boys were 12 and like 9.
You can't be king at 12.
So, as weird as monarchies are about like everything, and when it comes to ruling, this was a problem. You can't rule as a minor.
It's like when Tommen became king, but he wasn't really king.
Same thing, exactly. So Edward IV declared his brother Richard III the royal Lord Protector of the realm, which is some real Game of Thrones shit, and I love it.
There's a lot of realms. And
basically,
shit.
what a Lord Protector of the realm is, they're basically regents that are taking the place of the monarch while they're unable to rule by, illness, some other kind of thing, or if they're still a minor and they can't rule by themselves.
Okay.
The Lord Protector of the realm will take over, like, government duties.
Got it.
So, little Edward V, one of the princes,
Yes.
his uncle Richard III
Yes.
was Lord Protector of the realm.
Okay.
Okay, so he's acting as king, kind of. So Richard III, the uncle there, is likely feeling pretty powerful at this point because he gets to act.
He's
as king.
essentially the king.
Yeah. So
without the
he's-
title.
Yeah, he's feeling the power. He knows this kid is 12. He's got a little ways to go before he actually becomes king.
Oh, what does this dick do?
Well, right after King Edward IV's death, his brother, Richard III, Lord Protector of the Realm, he stays that way. And he had Edward V and Richard, his little brother,
Locked in a tower.
moved to the Tower of London.
Okay.
Now, at the time, this was not a bad place to be. He
Okay.
wasn't locking them in a tower or anything like that.
I'm jumping ahead of the game.
He's locking them in the goddamn tower.
I'm like, I know it.
This is some shit. Now, to some, the Tower of London is best known as a prison. Because after all, it really was a prison for, I think, over like 800 years.
Mm-hmm.
During the Tudor time, you were, quote, sent to the tower before your execution. Especially if you were like a threat to the kingdom or did something otherwise terrible.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, notable prisoners that were sent to the tower before their executions were Jane Grey, Anne Boleyn, and Guy Fawkes.
Oh, shit.
Now, the time when it was used as like the most gnarly kind of prison was between 1540 and 1640. And during this period, there was something like 48 recorded cases of torture used in there.
Ooh.
So they weren't just sticking them in a tower and being like, all right, you got to wait your execution. They were also torturing the fuck out of them.
That's really fucked up.
Now, the three forms of torture that were recorded, used in the tower, were the scavenger's daughter, the rack, and the manacles.
Okay, so we know about the rack.
So the scavenger's daughter, when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is that? We didn't cover that in our torture episode.
Sure didn't.
It was basically the opposite of the rack because it was supposed to compress your body.
Ugh.
It was this weird triangular frame where the victim's head would be in the top point and the victim's arms and legs would be at the other points in the bottom. So the arms would be in the middle, the bottom points were where your legs were spread.
Mm-hmm.
The tool would then be folded so that the victim's body was forced into this weird, compressed, and unnatural position with their heads slammed into their upper thighs, basically.
Ooh.
And it would force blood out of all the facial orifices.
I believe that.
So it's a lot of fun.
Back to the show.
Woo! The manacles were essentially shackles, so they could just be used along with any number of torture devices, so they weren't like really special.
It was just like, add this to blank
yeah,
for a
literally.
fun time.
For a fun, add a dash of manacles for fun. so yeah, it was a bad history within it, but at the time that the two princes were sent to the Tower of London, it was mainly used as a fortress and a palace. So it was pretty like luxurious. It was for royal.
Right.
It was so secure that often royal families held their most precious possessions there. And
such as their children. And they would also hunker themselves down for safekeeping during times of like uprising and war in there. It was fancy, it was luxurious, and it was super secure. Okay.
Like really secure. So it was also a place where the kings of England would stay for a few nights before their coronation.
Mm-hmm.
So it had this nice, noble, like symbolic history as well. So sending two young future kings there after their father's untimely death was not weird or crazy at the time. So this is all well and fine, except shit went down after this.
Well, it had to have because you're listening to Morbid podcast.
Of course. It's not like, and then they went to the Tower of London and they had a great time.
And then they became king.
Yeah. Nope. So apparently, a member of the clergy claimed that he had some shit that said that the marriage of Edward IV and Queen Elizabeth Woodville was not
valid. I knew it.
Yeah, I love how
That's
like,
exactly what I was going to say.
Not valid. This would mean that the parents of these two princes were not legally married, and therefore
they were bastards.
They had zero legitimate claim to the throne.
Oh, shit.
Now, interestingly enough, this would make it so Richard III, their uncle, had a clear pathway to the legitimate claim to the throne.
Who would have thunk it?
I wonder who paid that clergyman to say that. Because of this debacle, Richard was like, don't mind if I do. And he took that crown over a few weeks later. He was like, yup, that's mine now.
Oh, wow.
So this changed things.
Monarchs really are fucked.
They really are. So this changed a lot of shit. So the princes were initially sent there being cared for, being treated as royalty, staying in nice luxurious accommodations. But now they were held as prisoners in the Tower of London.
But that's not their fault.
12 years old and 9 years old.
That like their parents weren't legitimate, quote unquote.
But that was never proven that they weren't legitimate. I think it was bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like bullshit.
Yeah. Now, according to reports, Prince Edward V, the older brother, was especially depressed and like lonely and
he missed his parents.
Yeah, and he wasn't and he was like completely, they said at one point it seemed like he was completely resolved to the fact that he was probably gonna die.
Oh,
like
wow.
They were literally like, because they grew up in this time, you know, where like they knew what happened when you are illegitimate and they also knew what happened when you are a young king waiting to take the throne, that you were in a really bad position and probably
you weren't going to make it to the throne.
And Edward became like really resolved to the fact that they were just never leaving this tower because now they were locked in there.
Right.
Like people said, like
they weren't allowed outside.
They were
or
behind
anything.
bars. Like they were literally prisoners.
Oh God.
And of course, this is a mystery. Like no one knows what the fuck happened to them because suddenly they just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
In 1485, only 2 years after Richard III had just snatched that throne from his nephews, Henry Tudor came back with a full-blown army and was just knocking on Richard's door to take that throne again.
Knocking on Richard's door.
Thank you so much, because in my head I was singing that and I really needed you to do that. I just had to. I'm really glad we were on the same wavelength there. And
people either really fucking hate when I sing or they really love it. So,
but you know what? I really
you
love
know
it.
What? To all of you, you're welcome. Every single one of you.
Everybody. So Henry Tudor came back and he's like, oh, hey, I have an army. I'm gonna fight you now.
I'm gonna fuck your shit.
Yeah. So Richard only had 2 years of being king before Henry Tudor was like, no, bitch.
No.
So the battle that ensued out of this was called the Battle of Bosworth Field. And Richard III was killed in the fight.
Bummer.
Henry Tudor was like, cool, thanks, bro. And he became...
Wow, they killed the king? That's fucking wild.
Yeah, he was killed in the battle.
Because I think he fought alongside.
That's
and everything.
gnarly. Do kings die a lot in battle? I feel like they're not normally
Yeah.
in battle.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know anything.
I don't really know. But I don't know anything. But so Henry the Tudor.
Henry of the Tudor.
Henry of the Tudor. Henry Tudor was like, cool, thanks, bro. And he became King Henry VII.
Of everywhere.
Like, he just stepped over Richard III and was like, yeah, I'll take that.
he like
Thank
took
you.
the crown off of his head and like put it on his own.
And put it on and like struck a pose.
And he was
and
like, oh, hip hop.
oh.
Hip hop.
Apparently, even he didn't initially acknowledge the two missing princes. So he became king.
Because he was like, I don't give a fuck, and that's just gonna make things messy.
Yeah, like, but he wasn't even like, oh yeah, they're gone, everybody. Don't worry about it. He just didn't acknowledge it.
He was like, which ones?
So it was, I think he did finally acknowledge it that they had, but he said they had been murdered. Like, he officially was like, they were murdered.
Believe that.
He did that in July 1486, which was a year after Richard's death.
Oh.
So a year after he killed Richard III, the boys' uncles, King Henry VII was like, I think those boys were murdered. And before that, he had said nothing about them being even missing.
But obviously rumors was spreading around the castle.
Of course. So everyone was just like, well, that's weird. Guess we
Is
just...
it though? I don't think so.
And I think they're all just like, guess we'll just keep reigning and killing and being royal and doing our thing for another couple of centuries and not look into that. Like, they just didn't
I mean,
look
yeah,
into
it was like back then.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you know,
whatever.
back then.
You know, kids. We lost a couple. That sucks. So one, and it's like,
I'm dead.
no one's like, I wonder where those literal children went. Like, no one is worried.
They
at
were
all.
like orphans, so like nobody cared
Yeah,
anymore.
that's so sad.
Which is horrific.
So, and one of them, it's like one of them was supposed to be the King of England, everybody. Like,
Right.
this is
It's kind of a big deal.
kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe
Kind of
we
a big deal.
We should kind of look into this.
The ghost
So-
of little Edward is like, excuse me.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Kind of a huge fucking deal around here. Or I
And
was
they're
supposed
like-
to be.
No.
And they're like, who are you?
So in 1674, when Charles II had come into power at this point, because this was like 200 years later,
I was like, who?
you know, Charles II just came out of nowhere. 200 years later.
Poof, another king.
They started doing renovations on the Tower of London. These construction dudes that were working, they're just doing their thing. They come across
An ass ton of skeletons.
2 tiny skeletons.
Okay. Yeah, there you
So a
have
little
it.
less than an ass ton. 2.
Well, I figured a lot of people died there.
2 to be
Dos.
specific. They were clearly the skeletons of 2 children.
Okay.
These remains were stuffed under a staircase.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, they weren't properly buried or found in state. They were hidden.
Oh, that's really sad.
Now, there was also said to be pieces of velvet that were near and on their bones, like adhesed onto their bones. And at the time, it was not just anyone who was wearing velvet.
Yeah.
Only fancy people, literally royalty, wore that fabric.
So it was
So
them.
right away, they were like, these are not just 2 random kids.
Right.
So obviously at the time, people were like, holy shit, these are the 2 missing princes. But weirdly, in 1674, they didn't have forensic technology to determine that for sure.
What a bunch of bullshit.
They were really just like, what were they doing?
Slacking.
Doing nothing.
Chilling.
Just killing little kids to get the throne.
Fucking being dicks.
Yeah, you know. So basically they had a guy who was like, yeah, it seems legit.
I
And they
wish
were
I
like,
had said, for the last part, I wish I had said jousting.
jousting. I like it.
Thank you.
It's still good.
Okay.
So, under that assumption that these are the 2 missing princes, the skeletons were buried properly in an urn together.
Oh, I'm glad.
Their not quite final resting place was now the Henry VII Chapel in the Abbey. That's where they laid for quite a long time.
In the downtown Abbey?
You know.
Kidding.
But in 1933, so we're skipping ahead. a little bit.
1933?
Whoa. Yes.
That was so far ahead.
You just like yelled at
Did I?
What?
Shut up.
I was like, whoa, yes. Sorry.
Well, you were like, you know, in the 1600s and then in 1933.
Like, I feel like you just went back to a past life where you were like brutally murdered in 1933 because you were like, 1933? No, not that year.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you, but 1933 was a rough time in my life.
Well, yes, 1933.
Okay.
These skeletons were exhumed from Westminster Abbey.
Why?
And they were examined by Lawrence E. Tannery and William Wright. So Tannery was the librarian of Westminster Abbey, and he's like a historian. He's very knowledgeable about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wright was an extremely respected anatomist and president of the Anatomical Society of Great Britain and Ireland.
So that'll do it.
So they have some cred.
Yeah.
They were both assisted by Dr. George Northcroft, who is a pretty respected dental surgeon who specialized in pediatric dentistry.
Okay.
Because they wanted to take a look at these bones,
And
see what the
these
fuck's
teeths.
going on. So
Did they? No, there was no teeth anymore, was there?
I believe there was some teeth.
What?
So when they observed the bones, they said they were consistent for the ages of the princes when they went missing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also evidence of damage to the nasal bone of at least one of the skulls. And a brown stain on the face of one of the skulls that they said the stain could be blood that was due from suffocation. Because they think that basically if they were murdered, they were suffocated. Because if you were going to kill two little kids in the Tower of London, you were just going to suffocate them. It was just the way it was going to happen.
Okay.
You didn't really have another, like, according to everything I read, they were like, that's just what they were
According
like.
to
Suffocation
everyone.
would be the number one thing. And basically the damage to their nasal bones was consistent with somebody pressing against their face with either something or their hand.
And then how does the blood happen?
Well, the blood happens because you're pressing against their face and suffocating them, and blood will shoot out of your nose and mouth sometimes when you've been suffocated.
I had no idea.
Yeah, especially if they're pressing on their nose, they're breaking their nose, and that will bleed.
That makes sense.
So now that we have they're consistent for the ages of the two boys.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there might be a stain that is consistent with blood, that's consistent with suffocation, and there's damage to the nasal bones. So as far as they were concerned, they were going to call them Edward and Richard. This is them. Now, they were put, and I'll tell you more about it afterwards, but they were reinterred, like, so they could be buried again, like, respectfully. But now that they think they know that these are the two skeletons, there's some suspects / theories that you have to talk about.
Hit me up. I love a good theory.
Hell, yes.
So the first suspect is Uncle Rich.
Well, first of all, I watched this awesome show called Medieval Murders.
Sounds fucking lit.
You can find it on YouTube, especially for this case. And it was fascinating.
I
They
bet.
like really went, it was really funny to watch. But
and horrible, I'm sure.
totally. But it was what I meant was fun to watch. I don't know why I said funny.
I had a feeling.
Wasn't that funny?
I just knew people were gonna
It
like
was fun,
curb
though.
stomp you.
Yeah, like it wasn't fun that it was like two kids getting murdered.
That show's hilarious.
But it was fun to see like all these different like historians, forensic scientists, they
Yeah.
have pathologists, they have criminal psychologists, and they're going so far back into like Tudor history and stuff and like just trying to piece it all together. It's like
Right.
this cool mystery thing. It's really cool. You should go listen to it. So the first theory is that it was Richard III, their uncle.
right.
He needed those two boys out of the picture in order to have a significant claim to the throne and become king.
Uh-huh.
He was Lord Protector for Edward until he was old enough to become king and rule alone.
Mm-hmm.
So he was never going to become king. It was just clear that it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
This kid was going to be king technically until he was old enough, and then he was going to be king until forever.
Right.
And after him, his little brother had the next claim to the throne, so Richard was out. So apparently he was just a complete asshole as a king to boot.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, he wasn't a good king, even for those 2 years. He just demolished people in his way. Like, he was
Good.
just one of those people. He actually had a close supporter of his brother and someone who had aided him in his own accession to the throne, Lord Hastings, murdered. He also allegedly had Elizabeth Woodville's brother murdered to ensure he was not a problem to getting to the throne.
Jesus.
So he was not above this shit.
No.
And this dude grew up around a lot of, war and bloodshed and murder and
So
execution.
this was just like a typical Saturday.
So this makes sense that this is how he would see the world, is I have to take out people who are in my way of something I want.
Yeah.
This is also a bummer because Richard III was Edward the Fourth's, so the two princes' father who died. It was his like favorite and closest brother. That's why he
Really?
named him Lord Protector of the Realm, because he truly trusted him.
That would be like if I named you Lord Protector of the Realm and you killed my kids.
And then I just went and killed your kids and took the throne.
Wow, you bitch.
That would suck, right?
I'd be so angry at
You
you.
fucking pissed.
Like,
Poor Edward the Fourth is like, fuck, I
Yeah.
made a bad choice. Like, shit.
I'm dead, but like, come on.
But that sucks.
But so is everybody else.
Well, apparently the two of them were like super close during their lives. And one of Edward IV's first act as King of England was to promptly have Richard III knighted.
Oh, wow.
Like, that was one of his first acts, was like, knight my brother.
I would knight you.
I would knight you.
Thank you.
And then I wouldn't kill your kids.
I wouldn't kill
I
your
promise.
kids ever.
He also had a trusted... So Richard III also, once he had the two princes in the Tower of London and all that good stuff, he had a trusted bro, Sir James Tyrell. Kind of like
Shit.
the Tyrells in Game of Thrones.
We loved the Tyrells.
We did love them.
Marjorie.
And he was actually his master of horse, which I guess is a big deal.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like a big deal to me,
Get
but
my
I
horse
guess it is.
ready, Tyrell.
People think that this was the guy who did the deed for him.
No.
because he wasn't going to do it with his own hands. That's
No
for
way.
sure. And in fact, Tyrell is said to have confessed to it in 1502. And he did that when he was being tortured under King Henry VII for treason.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, because the other suspect is Henry VII.
Why is he the other suspect?
So, Henry VII is the second guy that I think might have done it.
Okay.
He's another guy who needed a better claim to the throne.
Okay.
His claim was weak and shitty, and the prince's was way stronger, barring that whole illegitimate marriage thing, because that was probably fake.
Right.
So because he defeated and killed Richard III in that Bosworth battle, but that would have allowed the princes technically to be the next in line still.
Right.
So he still needed them gone
Oh.
to become king. He could try to snatch it, but his claim just wasn't
as legit as
and
theirs.
you need a legit claim. It's like your shit is so weak if you don't have a legit claim. And those kids could be like, no.
My dad was king.
We're
you
literally
idiot.
next in line. Now, remember, Richard III had his brother's kids all illegitimized so that he could snatch that throne.
Wow, that's so rude.
Like, as soon as that clergyman was like, I don't think their marriage was valid, he was like, cool, I'm the acting regent right now, so I'm going to illegitimize all my brother's kids so that none of them can claim the throne, and then I get the throne. That's how he did it.
Wow.
So, now apparently when Henry VII took the throne after he killed Richard III,
Mm-hmm.
he had all of Edward's children legitimized again.
Okay.
But the princes were already missing at this point.
So it didn't matter.
So it didn't do anything. What's nuts here is that Edward IV had a daughter as well as these two princes. Her name was Elizabeth of York.
Uh-huh.
She was the surviving child
Uh-huh.
now that the two princes were gone. Henry VII married her.
Oh, shit.
After he legitimized all of Edward's children again, he married her.
Ew, and she was probably like 10.
And boom, he was now sitting pretty with a legitimate claim to the throne due to his marriage to King Edward's blood.
Wow.
So it makes perfect sense that he would have them killed, right? It's crazy.
that
And
was my mind being blown.
in Medieval Murders, that show that I'm telling you all to go watch because it's fun, they talked to a criminal's profile named Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, and they asked him whether it made sense that a dude like Henry VII would even have these children murdered in this way for that purpose.
Right.
So he agreed that Henry showed signs of a true psychopath during his reign, like he clearly was, and that he would engage in behavior that would lead him to remove people or obstacles from his way to get something he wants. In fact, he thinks it's more possible that someone of his psychopathy would get rid of those two princes ahead of time just to place suspicion on Richard to make his path to legitimacy even easier.
So what's your idea?
Well, I think at first I was like, it's got to be Richard III.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to think that it might have been Henry.
Do you?
Especially because he legitimized and then married the remaining daughter.
That is weird.
And he did that after the princes were already missing.
Which doesn't make much sense.
But if I have to say who stands to gain the most
It'd be
directly,
Richard.
it's Richard III.
Right.
So I'm gonna say final answer.
My final answer or your final answer?
What's your final answer?
My final answer is Richard.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna say Henry
Yeah, because of course.
because he's a psychopath. I think he would plan that ahead of time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see both, but
Yeah.
I just think Richard had more to gain.
He definitely did. So that could sway me, but I'm gonna stick with Henry.
Okay.
Hashtag Team Henry.
That's my favorite boy name.
There you go. So, just so you know, those two skeletons, like I said, were reburied in Westminster Abbey, and the mystery remains about what happened to the princes in the tower.
I liked that case.
It's light and fluffy.
It was like Miracle Whip.
It was just, it was historical fun
Yeah,
with child murder and mystery.
I like it. I'm excited to see what pictures you post for this.
I know. Actually, what's funny is when I was looking up all the different resources for this case, there's a ton of like oil paintings of the two princes, and like all of them are these two little boys that are looking off in like terror at something,
At their future.
or it's them laying in bed together and like two men are coming in to like suffocate them. Like
Awesome.
it's very dark. Very dark.
I'm into it.
And I was like, whoa, Tudor history, what up?
Yeah, Tudor history is rough.
And before we head out, we are going to thank some patronuses, because we didn't thank our patronuses in our third BTK installment, because honestly, it would have made the episode like 6 hours long. And we were tired.
So, the first Patreon we'd like to thank is Shirley A. Husted.
Shirley A.
I
Husted.
bet that's not how you say your last name.
You are not busted.
You're not.
You're the best. I love you, Shirley.
Shirley.
Thank you so much.
I love you. Next up is Sula Elizabeth.
Ooh, Sula Elizabeth. I just love you. You're just wonderful, and I appreciate your donation.
I appreciate it also. It's
Thank
the
you,
best.
Sula.
Next, I would like to thank Kristen Blackshaw.
Kristen Blackshaw. That's like you have like a very gothic last name. I like it.
Badass last
Yeah, I
name.
like that. It makes me feel pretty good.
Thank you,
thank
Kristen.
you, Kristen.
Then we would like to thank Lexi Levin.
Lexi Levin or Lexi Levin? Is it?
Probably Levin. But I
Lexi
like to think of it
Levin.
as Lexi Levin Conditioner.
There you go. I like Lexi Levin as well.
I
And
like both.
either way. I like your alliteration, so I appreciate you.
And you know what? We like you, Lexi.
We love you, Lexi.
Thanks, girl.
Thank you, Lexi.
Next is Heather Mahoney.
Heather Mahoney, you are not baloney.
I
You
like
are
that.
great.
That's
so
cute.
thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather. Then I would like to thank, and I like how you spell your name, Leanna Tim.
Ooh, Leanna Tim. That's a pretty name.
But it's Lee like the end of my name.
ooh, I love that.
Thanks, Leanna.
Oh, Leanna, thank you.
Beautiful name.
Love you, girl.
Then we can thank Ruth McKinnon.
Ruth McKinnon. What up?
What's up, girl?
I just love you.
What up, Ruthie?
Ruth. You're a baby Ruth, and that's a good.
The second you said that, in my mind, I thought Baby Ruth, but at the exact second that you said it.
We are on the same wavelength right now. And it's because of you, Ruth McKinnon. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Ruth. Then we have Danielle Griswold.
Danielle Griswold, you are a wonderful person, and your last name is from a really funny Christmas movie.
It is.
So you're right. You're
Merry
just right.
Christmas.
So thank you so much, Danielle. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Then we have Bryn DeBush.
Brindy Bush. I just love that.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I think that just feels nice.
It does.
It
Thank you,
feels
Bryn
right.
DeBush.
Thank you, Bryn DeBush. So her
And-
first name is Bryn.
Bryn.
I love that.
Bryn double N.
That's pretty. I really like
It's
that.
beautiful.
Thank you, Bryn.
Thanks. Our last Patreon that we are going to thank tonight is Jen Fan.
Jen Fan. I am actually helter-sweltering right now, and I need a fan. So you came at the right time.
Wow, Jen, serving all of our podcast morbid needs.
You are.
Jen, you're fucking great. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that donates to the podcast.
You guys, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. And we appreciate you more than you can ever realize possible.
Truly, you can't even realize
You're
it.
beautiful.
You're the chesticles.
Yes, you are.
And if you would like to become the chesticles, you can donate to the Morbid Patreon at
Patreon.com/Morbid Podcast.
check out pictures of little children screaming in terror because they're about to die. Follow us on Instagram at
Morbid Podcast.
Send us a Gmail about how horrifying those pictures were and send us your therapy bills.
Morbidpodcast@gmail.com.
Tweet about your scarring experience and tweet and tag us in the tweet at
A Morbid Podcast.
join the Facebook group and have some support at
Morbid, a true crime podcast, because that shit is awesome in there.
and if you weren't freaked out enough, you could go over to our spooky ass website that Alaina designed at
Morbidpodcast.com.
we hope you keep listening
And we hope you
keep
it
weird. But not so weird that your two parents die and then you become king, but you're not ready to be king yet, and your uncle's the king, and he's like, ha ha ha, you can't be the king, I'm gonna be the king, and then everybody's the king, and then the other king tried to kill your uncle, and then everybody dies, and then you're dead.
Yeah, don't do that.
So weird.
Game of Thrones.
Lancaster.
Bye.
Bye.